pan out for him. Professor Elemental was actually a British artist, which means you can go to see him. He also has a song called Cup of Brown Joy, which is about tea. Right, inspiration in video games, right. We got some Bioshocks, we've also got Damnation, which is about cowboys, something. Apparently it's actually very broken, so very pretty, but you know, don't bother too hard with it. I'll also be showing you some PB Winterbottom, which is an Xbox arcade game, it's quite cool. Also it's Professor Layton, Fable 3. I'll just play them now and get some more suggestions from you guys. Also, Bioshock, very gory, walk away.
There are tales of a box that brings death upon any who dare open it. Tell me, do you think those rumors could be true?
A train ticket for the Military Express. This train and its owner have quite a reputation.
That just now was PB Winterbottom is about a man who wants to eat all of the pies, and there is a mystical, magical pie that he tries to eat, and it goes through a time portal, and he follows it, and it gives him time powers, which he uses to try and track down and eat the mystical, magical pie. Also, Professor Layton, good because I, to be honest, don't have enough time to be sort of doing a lot of gaming because you work for yourself, which we mean always working. For me, Professor Layton was really good because I could take it to cons and do it on the train and things like that and yell at it and call him a bastard. Any other suggestions for video games? Yes?
Skies of Arcadia, the Wild Arms series, and Evil Twin.
Yeah, also one of the newer Final Fantasies, I believe. Sorry, again, don't have time to like 20 hours worth of looking at Cloud. Sorry. Alright, other people. Arcanum, what's that about? Yeah, so there's a massive variety of games. Yeah, quickly.
Alice Madness?
Yes, the new Alice game, that's really great. Thief of the Dark Shadows, sorry. Again, sorry, I apologise, I'm not a gamer, but it's relevant for all of you people. Right, let's talk getting into making an outfit for yourself and all this kind of thing. Basically, a good way to do it is just pick your favourite colour and use that as a starting point. Colours that suit you, colours that make you feel, because you're trying to pick stuff that makes you feel great to wear. Choose clothing that you feel comfortable in as well. One of the reasons I got into steampunk costume was I was doing all these cosplay suits of armours and things, and I was like, for fuck's sake, I want something that'll fold in a suitcase. And then from there, just accessorise. A lot of the thing that makes steampunk is just all the little trinkets and little things that they have that make, little details in costumes, which are really cool to look at. This I mainly did for the dudes, because no one tells us how to dress ourselves. Usually just like flum a t-shirt on us and go, there you go. But I figured it was nice to put in advice for women. If you have a small chest, things with high collars look really good. If you have a large chest, you are better off with things like a V-neck. The reason is this is, if you have a large bust and you have a collar all the way up to here, it kind of looks like they're trying to escape. So it's just about picking clothing that flatters you, because everyone has a different body shape. It's figuring out what to put on it which makes you look great. Corsets, pretty awesome, for most people. It's well-fitting corset shouldn't hurt whatsoever. I talk a little bit about how to sort of buy corsets later, but the main sort of key thing is steel bone corsets are actually more comfortable than plastic boning, because what people don't realise is the thing that pulls your waist in on a corset, sorry, I do make corsets, so I'm well informed. It's the fabric which is pulling you in, so it's the strength of the fabric which does that. The boning in a corset is just there to push the fabric out, so it doesn't wrinkle around your waist and pull you in. If you find yourself, feeling any pain while you're wearing corsets, you shouldn't be wearing that one, So yeah, they add a bit of shape, because there's this horrible thing nowadays where sexy women are thin bean poles with like a pair of melons on their chest. This is a chance to show off, really curvy women and sort of like that sort of femininity thing, and using, what you have and working out. Puffy sleeves, they make arms look bigger. This is, sometimes if you've got if you're hourglass shapes, it means that you put all of your fat on your thighs and on your arms pretty much. I know a lot of girls a little bit concerned about like how big their arms look. Puffy sort of like princess sleeves don't help. Good idea is something slimmer fitted that fits your arms. There's an interesting thing about shoes. If you're short, pointed toes look taller. They're an optical illusion. That's why men wore them first and wore high heels first. But yeah, one thing to really keep in mind is you are after comfy clothing. So girls, it's time to get the combat boots out and all this kind of stuff. Right, clothing that suits you men. Full-length coats look best on tall men. I am not a tall man. A full-length coat would make you look like a 12-year-old. So when I wear this costume, you'll see me later tonight when we do something for Sunday Night Live for you guys. I have a 3/4 length jacket, which just flatters me a bit more. So yeah, if you're a bit shorter, jackets, waistcoats, rolling up your sleeves make your arms look bigger. I am a skinny man, which means that I do the whole puff sleeve thing, so I look less like I'm going to break. Very tall hats look better on tall men. I don't wear a top hat with a costume whatsoever because, again, look like a 12-year-old. I was at NomCon recently, actually, and had a balloon man making like balloon animals, but he was absolutely amazing. He made a Tachikoma, like this big, out of balloons, and then I was like, can you make me a top hat, like the biggest top hat you can make? It was like this big and pink, and I looked like the gayest leprechaun. But yeah, so yeah, think about, you know, different types of hats besides top hats. The other thing I find, at least I get this, I actually have short hair in real life. Which means if I wear like a top hat with my hair, it's just, my head looks so tiny and small underneath it. So yeah, think about what really suits you and pick things that work with yourself. Alright, and then accessorize. Here's just some examples. Pocket watch, goggles, necklaces and chokers, cufflinks, because small bits of detail, you're in a really add to a costume. Wrist cuffs, belts and chains. I think people can do a lot of things with chains and belts and things. Right, going on to the other part of steampunk, making characters, because a lot of people are into this because of like the role play aspect and all that kind of thing, which is quite fun. I mean, I'm, you know, I'm doing this myself. I do. The reason I started writing a steampunk comic was because we made some steampunk costumes, people liked the characters, so I wanted to add a bit of backstory. For me personally, I start with a colour again. This entire thing for Billy Strings came about because I found this fabric. It was a stretch lycra fabric, so used for dance wear. Absolutely horrible. I bought a metre of the stuff. No one believed me that it would look nice. And now I get so many compliments on my waistcoat. I mean, sure, they may be lying to me, but I think it's quite nice. And yeah, I went with pinks and golds because he's a very sleazy, kind of sexy character, a bit of a womanizer. I'm actually a feminist in real life, I promise. Well, I'll try. Being a male feminist means you just sit back and listen, really. That's sort of the point. To be honest, they're never going to let me marry anything. Right, you may have an idea already, you just want to expand on that idea. If you want to draw the character out, but you're not so good on the whole art front, a good thing to do is like print off a mannequin from the internet. Put a piece of paper at the top, draw your clothes onto that mannequin shape. It gives you an idea of what you're aiming for a character. And remember, steampunk characters, it's like cosplay, you can change everything about you. For example, Billy Strings I'm wearing is Texan. That's really fun. You get to, apparently I'm quite good at it. Apparently all the steampunk conventions in America, people were always wandering around with these really terrible British accents. I thought it would always be funny to turn up with a really terrible American accent. You can change everything about yourself. But remember, steampunk, it's not like cosplay. You can pick parts of yourself that you really like and use it as a costume. For example, I do a costume called Dr. Mechanic. Now, I waist train with corsets, actually. I can go down to something like 22 inches, so it's been a while. For Dr. Mechanic, I wanted to look weird, so I made a corset that brought me into like my maximum waist with a very big lip for my ribs. And I called it my calm and soothing voice doctor regulator. The idea was it's what makes me sound, oh my hello. So using different parts of yourself, for example, I've seen stuff like people do spinning plates, magicians, all this kind of thing, that you can include that cool stuff you do that you don't really get to get out that often.